I helped my husband build a business from scratch, and I thought my good days had finally come. But then, my husband brought up divorce. He said, I worked hard to get ahead in life, and I did it for a better future. I can be wrong to you, but I can't be wrong to my life. He also said, any maid could replace your position. Do you really think you're still worthy of me now? After the divorce, he immediately married a wealthy heiress, due to years of hard work. I developed a chronic illness and died alone in the hospital, with no one to claim my body. I never expected that, after being reborn, I would return to the day I was 22, crying and insisting on marrying him despite my parents' objections. If I could live it again, I would never marry him. When I regained consciousness, heavy rain was pouring down on me, and Axel Shu was making promises. Lyra, once I have money, I will never let you suffer again. I will buy you a villa, luxury cars, and give you a life that everyone will envy. It took me a long time to realize the fact that I had been reborn. I clearly remember what Axel Shu said. He said that he was already the president of a listed company and needed a rich young lady who could help him in his career, not someone like me, a housewife abandoned by her family. He said I was not worthy of him anymore. I slapped myself hard across the face. I severed ties with my parents for a man like this. I really deserved to die. The experiences of the previous generation, even I want to say they deserved it. Lyra, why are you hitting yourself? If you want to hit someone, hit me. He was shouting this for my parents to hear. My parents are standing in the room watching. Alright, as you wish. I stood up and kicked him out. This kick carried some resentment from my past life. I almost wanted to kick him to death. As I moved forward, wanting to kick him a few more times, I stopped myself. It's really unnecessary. His end is not even worth living. It's the only thing that fits his ingratitude. Axel Shu looked at me with a face full of astonishment, and I couldn't be bothered to look at his reaction and just ran back home. By the way, let the security guard kick Axel Shu out. I even heard Axel Shu shouting passionately when the security guard dragged him away. Lyra, I will always stand by you. No matter how uncle and aunt treat us, my love for you is unwavering. Uncle and aunt, if there's anything, come at me. Please don't hurt Lyra. He actually imagined that I was pretending to act this way for my parents, not because I really wanted to kick him to death. After taking a shower, I faced my parents sitting on the sofa. I knelt in front of them and knocked my head hard. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Mom and Dad. It is the daughter's unfilial behavior to sever ties with you for that scumbag. Dad took a puff of smoke and, with both love and helplessness, said to me, Axel Shu is the illegitimate son of the Shu family. His mother is the maid of the Shu family, and even the Shu family refuses to acknowledge him. Yet you're rushing to marry an illegitimate son. Have you lost your mind? Mom said with a heavy heart. I always thought you and Knox Shu were childhood sweethearts. I thought you wanted to be with him. Lyra, if you insist on being with Axel Shu, this illegitimate son, then our mother-daughter relationship ends here. My dad even took out an agreement that had already been drafted. If you sign this agreement, we'll give you some money, and from then on, you'll no longer be a member of the Mo family. No matter what happens to you out there, alive or dead, we'll have nothing to do with you. I have heard these words in my previous life. But in my previous life, I arrogantly severed ties with them for the sake of love. I used the money from severing family ties to help Axel Shu build his business from scratch through all the hardships. I accompanied my former uncles and relatives to drink alcohol until I had stomach bleeding because I am the only daughter of the Mo family, and they all gave me face. Only when they were sure that I had severed ties with the Mo family, they, however, took advantage of me in every possible way without any restraint. I endured it all in order to secure the investment. I was willing to give up everything for love, but in the end, I ended up dying alone in misery. To this day, I still vividly remember everything before my death: loneliness, fear, regret, unwillingness, hesitation, and despair. Their sharp eyes had long known that Axel Shu was not a good person, and certainly not my destined partner, and they had already predicted my fate. They were afraid of being completely abandoned by Axel Shu, so they distanced themselves from me in advance. I'm sorry. Mom and Dad, I've figured it out. I won't be with Axel Shu anymore. I'll listen to you. I won't sign this agreement. This agreement was something I arrogantly insisted my father hire a lawyer to draft for me. Now I'm saying I won't sign it. My parents were completely stunned, staring at each other. But they couldn't believe what I was saying. They only think I'm stalling. They used to lock me in a room, and I would jump out of the window to run and meet Axel Schuh. Now they don't lock me up anymore because they know they can't keep me in. But now I don't run out anymore, I said. From now on, I won't have any contact with Axel Schuh. I'll listen to my parents and go abroad to study. My parents looked at each other, both thinking that I was possessed. My mom even secretly invited a medium to jump rope in front of our house. After all, the contrast in my behavior was too great. Just moments ago, I was kneeling in the rain, swearing that I would cut ties with them if they didn't support me and Axel Schuh. In the blink of an eye, I changed my mind and was unwilling to sever ties. I even promised to listen to them. My parents suspect there's something wrong with me and don't believe that I would really break up with Axel Schuh. My best friend sent me a video of Axel Schuh getting drunk at a bar. Axel Schuh was as drunk as a puddle of dead water, but still called my name with deep affection. Lyra, I can't live without you, Lyra. I will work hard to give you a better life. My best friend Noah Fong is a poor student I sponsor, and I later found out that Noah Fong and Axel Schuh had been involved for a long time. It's a pity that Noah Fong ended up just being a stepping stone for Axel Schuh's rise. That man is truly awful. Lyra, were you locked up by uncle and aunt? Axel has been missing you so much these days. He almost broke down. Weren't you always able to escape before? Why did you give up resisting? Because I didn't answer Axel Schuh's calls or reply to his messages, and I didn't resist when my parents ran out at all costs to see him. So he had Noah Fong accompany him to perform a strategy of self-injury. I said, my parents have already agreed to the marriage proposal with the Schuh family, and they've asked me to behave myself for these few days. The day after the heavy rain stopped, Knox Schuh came with Aunt Schuh to formally propose. He said he wanted to marry me first and then go abroad to study together. My parents were so awkward that they didn't know what to do, knowing that I would never agree to it. Even Aunt Schuh, who has watched me grow up, felt awkward. She had long heard about the scandal between me and the Schuh family's illegitimate child, knew how madly I loved Axel Schuh, and was very clear that her son showing up was just asking for humiliation. But I nodded and said, okay, I have no objections. My parents thought they had heard wrong, and Aunt Schuh looked at me in shock. She even thought that I must be hiding something bad, waiting to disappoint her son later. Even Knox Schuh was somewhat surprised by my reaction. He asked me, Lyra Mo, are you really willing to marry me? I am willing. Knox Schuh was a bit suspicious after the accident, but he didn't ask more. He said, all right, the wedding will be arranged in a month. You won't run away from the wedding, will you? The betrothal gifts have been accepted. My parents will prepare the dowry and send it to the Schuh family later. Does this count as an engagement? It counts. Don't even mention my parents. Aunt Schuh also thinks it's very unreal. Lyra, are you really going to marry my son? This is not something you can back out of. If you back out, our two families will be enemies for good. I won't back out, but can it be kept a secret? I need a month to take care of some personal matters. What does personal matters mean? Everyone present understands. Aunt Schuh agreed, and Knox Schuh also agreed to keep their engagement and wedding a secret. When I sent Aunt Schuh and Knox Schuh off, I still heard Aunt Schuh quietly ask Knox Schuh, if everything is kept secret, Lyra Mo won't stand you up on the wedding day. Right, son, you need to be mentally prepared. It's better this way. At least if she stands you up, it won't be embarrassing. Knox Schuh said, Mom, I trust Lyra. I saw Aunt Schuh's expression, which was the same as the look my parents gave me that day, dumbfounded, shocked, and helpless. My parents sent the dowry to the Schuh family but still have doubts about me. They think that such a sudden change in me must mean I'm up to no good. It must be because I'm plotting something with Axel Schuh. My dad even warned me, Lyra Mo, if you dare to run away from the wedding, you'll no longer be my daughter. Actually, my dad loves me a lot, but after my brain went haywire, he has reserved his love for me. I went to the bar where Axel Schuh was. I didn't push the door open at the entrance of the private room. I heard Axel Schuh smugly say, Lyra Mo's dad agreed to my relationship with her, so now I don't have to worry about my startup funds. Lyra Mo is an only child. And all the money in her family will be mine. Brothers, feel free to order drinks today. I'll cover the bill for the entire venue. Hihi, young master, he is an illegitimate child of the Shu family. Born from when Uncle Shu got drunk and accidentally had an affair with a young maid. Even Uncle Shu thinks that Axel Shu's existence is a stain on him, so he doesn't want to acknowledge him at all. The whole place was celebrating, and everyone was praising him. Axel, how did you manage to charm the young lady from the Mo family like that? Once you succeed, don't forget the brothers who helped you plan everything, and Noah Fong, she's following you without any title or recognition. Make sure you don't treat her unfairly in the future. Axel Shu patted his chest and promised, once I succeed, I'll break up with Lyra Mo and give Noah a home. Noah Fong shyly tapped Axel Shu's chest and said, don't say that, Lyra Mo is a good girl, I don't want to compete with her for a title. As long as you have me in your heart, that's enough for me. As soon as these words were spoken, the crowd began to jeer, all saying that Noah Fong was truly Axel Shu's confidant. Even Axel Shu, holding her with a pained expression, said, fool, the one I love is you. If Lyra Mo is of no use, I wouldn't even look at her. It turns out that bad people were bad from the start, they didn't become rotten after achieving success. I received a call from Axel Shu at the bar entrance, and this time, I answered it. Lyra baby, I spent 200,000 entertaining clients with drinks. Can you lend me the money first? Once I make money, I will pay you back 10 times. In the past, every time he asked for money like this, I would trust him completely and transfer the money to him directly. My parents give me 300,000 as pocket money every month. But this month, after they found out about my relationship with Axel Shu, they cut off my pocket money. But I have savings. I have no money. My parents stopped giving me allowance. Axel Shu became anxious. But don't you still have savings? I can't afford to pay for drinks with clients. How will they work with me in the future? Hurry and ask your dad for some. Be good, I'll be waiting. With that, he hung up the phone. In his eyes, since my parents had agreed to our relationship, asking for some pocket money should be a simple matter. I watched him standing at the bar, with the cashier holding the POS machine, waiting for him. The cashier was a man, and he was getting somewhat impatient. Sir, when are you going to pay? There are other customers waiting behind you. Axel Shu awkwardly walked away, but with strong confidence, saying, I'm waiting for my girlfriend to bring the money. What's the rush? If he had a tail, it would have been up in the air by now. After all, he thought he would soon become the son-in-law of the Mo family, and the Mo family's money would be his money. But he waited for half an hour, and I still hadn't transferred the money to him. By the time he called me again, my phone was already out of service. He was so angry that his face turned pale, constantly sending me messages. Can't you gather 200,000 lira? You're the eldest daughter of the Mo family. If you don't have the money today, I won't deal with you again in the future. You made me lose face, and for a man, face is the most important thing outside. Don't you know that? 2 more hours passed, he sent me a message again. Baby, you can easily borrow some from your friends in your circle. Borrow it for me first, and I will pay them back later. Noah Fong called me, but I still couldn't get through. Noah Fong sent me a message. Lyra, you won't even give Axel Shu the 200,000. He lost a lot of face today. He's angry and said he'll never talk to you again. I've been persuading him for a while. You should quickly send him 400,000 to calm him down. I watched them frantically running around, watching Axel Shu's so-called brothers standing by, gloating. No one is helping him foot the bill. He can only pawn his watch at the bar. That watch was the birthday gift I gave him last year. But the watch that Axel Shu rejected was identified as a counterfeit by the bar owner. Axel Shu was furious and couldn't believe it. You guys are running a business like this, trying to scam people. That watch was a gift from my girlfriend, Miss Mo from the Mo family. How could she give me a counterfeit? I think you just want to extort money from me. The bar owner sneered mockingly. You ate a free meal and now you're slandering us. Come on, hit me. Running into a broke bastard is my bad luck. Axel Shu was beaten up by the bar staff and thrown out of the bar. His so-called brothers saw that the situation was bad and had already slipped away. But Noah Fong really loves Axel Shu. After Axel was beaten up, he took a taxi to the hospital with him. The watch that Axel Shu is currently wearing is indeed a fake. I swapped the original genuine ones when he wasn't home. I heard that Noah Fong was the one taking care of Axel Shu while he was in the hospital. Axel Shu wrote a long post criticizing me, saying that I gave him counterfeit goods, accusing me of not even paying him 200,000, and that he was forced to eat a free meal and got beaten up because of me. He also posted many pictures of Noah Fong taking care of him. He said, "Lyra Mo, you have really disappointed me. If you don't come to the hospital to apologize to me today, we're breaking up." I saw the message and also received a call from Noah Fong trying to persuade me. Noah Fong said, "Lyra, Axel Shu is really heartbroken because of you. I bet it was your parents who confiscated your phone and stopped you from contacting him. You must want to see him. I tried to comfort you for a long time, but couldn't make it work. Why don't you secretly pay for his medical expenses as a surprise? He definitely won't hold anything else against you. The watch you gave couldn't possibly be a fake. It must have been the bar owner trying to scam money. Axel Shu has always trusted you." I replied to her, "It's a fake, alright. What does a bastard like him deserve, if not a fake?" I couldn't see Noah Fong's expression, nor did I know how Axel Shu would react when he found out. It was probably going to be quite dramatic. When Axel Shu found me, I was trying on wedding dresses. The address of the bridal shop was sent to me by Knox Shu. He said he had a company meeting to attend, so he would come later. I don't know how Axel Shu found me. When he saw me come out of the fitting room wearing a white wedding dress, his angry face immediately turned into a joyful one as soon as he entered the door. "Lyra, why didn't you let me know when you tried on the wedding dress? Were you planning to surprise me, Lyra? You look so beautiful in the wedding dress. Uncle and aunt have agreed to our relationship. So when have they planned for us to get married?" I hadn't said anything yet when Axel Shu pinched my face and said, "You little fool, I've been so angry these past few days. I didn't expect that you were always planning to surprise me. Are you so eager to marry me? Since our wedding is near, I should find a time to visit your family. But you know, I don't have money. So I definitely can't afford the betrothal gift. But once my company starts making money, I will definitely make up for the betrothal gift. Lyra, how much dowry did your parents prepare for you?" I didn't think much of these words before, but now when I hear them, I feel like his abacus beads are flying right at my face. Knox Shu gave a 100 million yuan dowry. My parents gave a 100 million yuan bridal price in return. My father said, "You're our only daughter, so all the money in the family will be yours." Knox Shu is the eldest son of the Shu family, so all the money in the Shu family will be his. In the end, the money from both families will be yours and his, so the dowry and bridal price from both sides are just a formality. But Knox Shu felt that this was unfair to me. He thought that since the woman is the one who bears children, receiving more money is a form of protection for me, so he actively gave me half of his company shares. He also said to me, "Lyra Mo, I want 2 children in the future. You know, our 2 families really have a lot of inheritance to pass down. One child will take my last name, and the other will take yours, so it might be a bit tough on you." I looked at Axel Shu and said, "My parents gave me a dowry of 100 million. Axel Shu's eyes lit up, but then his face turned cold. "You have 100 million. But last time when I asked you to lend me 200,000, you refused. Do you know how much face you made me lose outside? I got beaten up by a bar owner and was hospitalized for a week. In the end, it was Noah Fong who helped me pay the medical bills. He started scolding me. I've been working my ass off drinking and entertaining clients. Isn't it all for your better life in the future? You can't even share this little bit of money with me. Do you expect me to keep fighting alongside you in the future?" But later when I went to the bar to pay for you, the bar manager said you were drinking with a few of your brothers, and he even showed me the surveillance footage. Noah Fong was there too. "Where are the clients?" Axel Shu's face turned pale instantly, and he grabbed a vase from the table, smashing it to pieces in front of me. "You investigated me. Don't we even have the most basic trust between us? You'd rather trust an outsider than your own boyfriend. Lyra Mo, you really disappoint me. I will punish you by not allowing you to speak to me for a week. Calm down and reflect on where you went wrong. If you don't realize your mistake, I will not marry you." He became so angry and turned to leave, but he was stopped by the shop assistant. "Lira Mo, it's no use stopping me. I'm very angry right now," he yelled at me. Then the shop assistant said, "No, sir, this vase is worth 100,000. You've just smashed it. If you don't compensate for it, you can't leave." Axel Shu. Axel Shu got angrier, turned around, and pointed at me. "You make her pay. She wants to marry me. Whatever amount you want, she'll give it to you." Then the clerk pushed open the door and hurriedly left. The clerk awkwardly looked at me and said, "Miss Mo, should we tell Mr. Shu about this?" The clerk heard everything Axel Shu said, and she was speechless. In her eyes, the wedding dress was ordered for me by Knox Shu from the Shu Group, and she couldn't understand what Axel Shu was so excited about. I gave the store clerk Axel Shu's home address and contact information. "There are cameras in the store, right? You can call the police to make him pay." When Knox Shu arrived, he saw Axel Shu break the vase and then angrily left. I, on the other hand, remained calm, with a completely indifferent expression, almost like I was watching a clown. Knox Shu gave the store clerk another address. "This is his damn home address. If he refuses to compensate, you can contact his mother." I watched Knox Shu's reaction and couldn't help but chuckle. After Axel Shu was born, his mother took 200 million from the Shu family. The matriarch of the Shu family made Axel Shu's mother promise that no one would find out Axel Shu was an illegitimate child of the Shu family. But his mother squandered the 200 million by herself and then began exploiting Axel Shu's identity to amass wealth. As a result, the outside world knew that the Shu family had an illegitimate child born to a maid. Over the years, the Shu family has hated Axel Shu and his mother to the bone. In such a situation, in my previous life, I loved Axel Shu so deeply that I was willing to fight the whole world for him. I accompanied him to the shore, covered in wounds, but on the first day on land, he killed his beloved. Looking back now, I was never the person he had in mind. I was just a stepping stone for him to climb higher. Tonight, Knox Shu came to my house for dinner, and my parents were very hospitable. They were very pleased with Knox Shu, and when he was very young, they already liked the idea of him as a son-in-law. Recently, they still held a skeptical attitude towards me. They thought I must be hiding something big, and couldn't figure out what I really wanted to do. They always thought I wouldn't settle down and get married. I asked Knox Shu, "You don't believe I would marry you either?" Knox Shu smiled and rubbed my head. "I'm fine with anything." What he meant was that if I didn't go to the wedding, he would understand. After all, just a month ago, I was desperately trying to be with Axel Shu, but I couldn't understand him. If he thought I might not go to the wedding, why was he still insisting on having the wedding and marrying me? I said, "Knox Shu, let's get our marriage certificate." The smile in Knox Shu's eyes faded, as if he couldn't believe it, and thought maybe I had argued with Axel Shu and was just acting out of spite. "Get some rest. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, see you at the Civil Affairs Bureau." This was what I said. Knox Shu gave me a meaningful look, but said nothing, only smiling. My parents are very cautious about me taking the household registration booklet. In fact, the next morning, they followed me to the Civil Affairs Bureau. They didn't believe that I was going to get married to Knox Shu. They thought I was definitely marrying Axel Shu, so, when they met Knox Shu, they finally believed that I wasn't lying. We arrived at the Civil Affairs Bureau at 9 o'clock, but Knox Shu was already waiting at the door. I clearly scheduled for 10 o'clock, so the four of us entered the Civil Affairs Bureau. My parents' four eyes were fixed on the staff as they stamped the documents. The staff's hands were shaking. They'd never been stared at with such a deathly gaze before. On that day, my dad was as happy as a 200-pound child holding my marriage certificate. My mom was holding my marriage certificate, almost in tears. I feel very guilty. In my past life, I was so unfilial that I broke their hearts. Knox Shu gently took my hand. "Thank you, Lira Mo, thank you for marrying me." His hand was still trembling a bit. I held his hand in return. "No, thank you, Knox Shu, please take care of me for the rest of our lives." In the evening, Knox Shu and I went on a date at a restaurant. Actually, we were childhood sweethearts. We didn't talk like this before, but after Axel Shu appeared, Knox Shu and I became more and more distant. Now suddenly trying to get close again feels awkward for everyone. After dinner, the two of us took a walk by the river. It was very late, and no one mentioned going home. It wasn't said whose house we were going to. Later, my phone kept ringing. It was Axel's shoes. Answer it, it's fine. I directly turned on the speakerphone. Axel's shoes voice came through. Didn't you pay for the vase at the bridal shop? They came here with the police looking for my mom. Liramo, I'll give you one more chance. You better come over right now and pay for it. Saying that, he hung up the phone. The bridal shop couldn't find him at Axel Shu's house, so they called Axel Shu. But he refused to take responsibility, so the bridal shop owner went to Axel Shu's mother's house. The police took everyone to the police station for questioning. I originally didn't want to get involved, but the shop owner asked if I could be a witness, and I readily agreed. I arrived at the police station with Knox Shu. The moment Axel Shu saw Knox Shu, his previously arrogant expression immediately became vague and insecure. He doesn't understand how such a small matter could alarm the Shu family. This half-brother of his, he is both afraid of and dislikes him. Because of the existence of Knox Shu, he feels like a dark rat, hiding and crawling around everywhere. He works so hard to climb up, just to prove to the Shu family, to prove to Knox Shu, that he, Axel Shu, although an illegitimate child, is no worse than Knox Shu, and even better than him. Axel Shu believes that the only thing he's better at than Knox Shu is the fact that Knox Shu's childhood friend Liramo, who is also the one I currently love with all my heart, is me. So he straightened his back, and loudly, without warning, scolded me. It's just a broken vase, such a small thing. And you can't even handle it. If my company grows bigger and stronger in the future, what can I even expect from you? Noah Fong was also there, but she didn't know Knox Shu. She also joined in. Lira, it's only 100,000, if you just paid it earlier, nothing would have happened. Now it's all the way to the police station. How embarrassing for Axel Shu. Although Axel Shu's mother is very afraid of Knox Shu, she's not afraid of me. She also thinks scolding me will allow her to stand tall in front of Knox Shu. My son is right. If you can't even handle such a small matter, I really need to reconsider the marriage between our families. I couldn't help but sneer. The vase was broken by Axel Shu. What does that have to do with me? Why should I pay for it, officer? I'm here to testify. I saw with my own eyes that it was him who broke the vase. Axel Shu, Noah Fong, Axel Shu's mom. The expressions of the three people are exceptionally brilliant. At this moment, Knox Shu says, "Officer, if they don't want to compensate, just detain them directly." I told the boss of the wedding dress shop again, "If you need to file a lawsuit, my wife is willing to cooperate if you need a witness." The wedding dress shop boss immediately said to me, "That really troubles you, Mrs. Shu. Thank you so much." Axel Shu, Noah Fong, and Axel Shu's mom's eyes were as wide as copper bells. Axel Shu looked at Knox Shu, who was holding my shoulder, and he couldn't believe it. "Lira, we're just having a cold war. Do you really have to use Knox Shu to provoke me? I really don't want to bother with him." Knox Shu hugged me and directly took me out of the police station. Axel Shu tried to follow but was stopped by the police. I suddenly remembered that Noah Fong works at the Shu Corporation. Back when he had just graduated from university, I had begged Knox Shu to help Noah Fong get a job there. Noah Fong thought she got in by her own ability. I considered her a close friend, so I've been helping her all along, but she treated me like a naive person with a lot of money to waste. By the way, Noah Fong, if you want to pay for Axel Shu's losses, I advise you to think carefully, because you've been fired. And starting tomorrow, you don't need to come to work at Shu's company. Noah Fong nearly stumbled, gritting her teeth as she questioned, "Liramo, on what grounds are you firing me? I got into Shu Corporation on my own merit." Knox Shu scoffed. "Are you Noah Fong? It was Liramo who asked me to help you get in through the back door." "Liramo is my wife, and as the wife of the president of the group, do you think she can't fire you?" It seemed like only at that moment did they realize I was serious. The Liramo who was head over heels in love with Axel Shu a month ago, suddenly had a change of heart. Noah Fong didn't dare to help pay back the money because she lost her job. Axel Shu could only borrow from those shady friends, and he really managed to borrow the money. He kept saying that he would marry Liramo next week and pay back the money immediately. Those brothers all believed him. Axel Shu came to find me again and knelt at my door for a whole day. He doesn't understand what exactly happened. I thought it was time to have closure with him, so I went to the door to meet him. His face was full of exhaustion. The man who usually cares so much about his image had stubble all over his mouth, and his clothes hadn't been changed in days. I looked at him coldly, like I was looking at a piece of trash. Lyra, what exactly happened? Didn't uncle and aunt agree to our marriage? Why are you suddenly with Nox Shu? Don't you love me anymore, or are you just trying to make me jealous? Lyra, I'm sorry. Even though I don't know what I did wrong, I know it's my fault. If you're angry, I'll apologize. Please don't be mad anymore, okay? We went through so many difficulties to be together. That disgusting face, I truly hate it. I kicked him in the chest and knocked him to the ground. Aren't you tired of playing the role of the devoted lover? You know better than anyone why you're with me. I'm just a stepping stone for you. Axel Shu, the day you succeed and become famous, you'll be the first to throw me in the trash. Panic flashed in Axel Shu's eyes, but he couldn't admit it. He grabbed my hand. Lyra, is there a misunderstanding? Did Nox Shu say something to you? Lyra, don't believe him. He hates me. He's taking revenge on me. You love me so much, don't you feel it? I couldn't help but laugh quietly and say, can't you tell whether I love you or not? Only then did he reassess me, his gaze realizing that when I looked at him, it was as if I were looking at the most disgusting thing in the world. My dislike for him was clearly evident in my eyes, but he hadn't noticed it in the previous few times. Our wedding with Nox Shu was held as scheduled. The venue was filled with distinguished guests. Both families' relatives and friends were very happy, until the big screen, which was originally showing our wedding photo, switched to a video of me and Axel Shu during our relationship. Axel Shu walked out from backstage, holding the microphone, feeling quite smug as he approached Nox Shu. Big brother, the woman you're marrying is just someone I've had my fun with, a woman who loved me passionately one moment, only to marry you the next. Don't you think that's terrifying? Nox Shu raised his hand and punched him. You bastard. Axel Shu is no match for Nox Shu and is being pinned to the ground and rubbed in the dirt by Nox Shu. Neither side had anyone step in to help, they just coldly watched. Axel Shu's mother ran in and shouted, stop, don't hit my son. If you keep hitting him, someone will die. But Axel Shu's mother was held back by Nox Shu's father. Uncle Shu coldly pulled her arm. He should never have been born. Killing him is a family matter. Axel Shu's mother widened her eyes, filled with disbelief, grey despair, and sorrow. She cried out loudly, Axel Shu is your biological son. Axel Shu also heard the words of his biological father. He was beaten so badly by Nox Shu that his face was covered in blood, yet he laughed loudly, until I spoke up and said, Nox, stop hitting him. I saw the surprise flash in Axel Shu's eyes, thinking I was concerned about him. His gaze was filled with hope, as if he still had someone who loved him. I helped Nox Shu up, holding his hand with concern. Your hand is bleeding too. If you want to fight, use this one. I dragged a heavy chair over to him. Nox Shu raised an eyebrow, lifted the chair, and slammed it on Axel Shu's head, knocking him unconscious on the spot. Axel Shu's mom called the police, and the officers investigated the scene. Uncle Shu said, the older brother is just fooling around by hitting his younger brother. It's a family matter, no need to trouble you guys. The police can't really say anything, it's a family matter, hard to manage. Axel Shu's mother went crazy. You haven't acknowledged this son for over 20 years, and now you suddenly do. You're crazy. Uncle Shu slapped Axel Shu's mother to the ground. If it weren't for you, could this bastard have been born? What did he mean by showing those photos at Nox and Lyra's wedding? That's Lyra Mo, she's promiscuous. Just a moment ago, she was all over my son, and the next moment she's with, slap, another slap. This time it was Aunt Shu who hit me. Lyra Mo is someone I watched grow up. I know her better than you do. Who hasn't encountered a few scumbags when they were young? If she was able to wake up in time and choose a new partner, that shows her strength. My son is willing to marry and love her. That's her ability, unlike you, who has been stuck in a pit for a lifetime, always falling for one man and never being able to get out. The man referred to as Uncle Shu. Axel Shu's mom collapsed because every word Aunt Shu said struck a chord with her. She doesn't blame Uncle Shu or Aunt Shu, but she resents me. Why are you so lucky? Why, you're Knox Shu's childhood friend. You should be serving me by pouring tea and water. You should be my son's plaything. I instinctively took a step back. Knox Shu stepped forward to protect me, afraid that her dirty hands would touch the hem of my skirt. People are really strange. They don't blame those they should, and inexplicably hate those they shouldn't. It turns out that even Axel Shu's mother thought this way. I was meant to be Axel Shu's plaything. In my previous life, I did indeed serve her by making tea and water for her. But no matter what I did, she was never satisfied. Even though I worked hard to assist Axel Shu in starting his business, she showed no gratitude at all. I would just feel like I'm cheap and desperate for attention. So on the day Axel Shu's company went public, he proposed to the dean's daughter. And his mother was so happy she danced with joy. Axel Shu told her, I worked hard to get to where I am for a better life. I can wrong her, but I can't wrong my own life. Axel Shu's mother praised him, son. You're truly clear-headed, I support you. I took my whole heart out, but they, mother and son, crushed it and stomped on it recklessly. Axel Shu was beaten into a concussion, and after regaining consciousness, he kept vomiting. When he woke up, there was no one beside him. None of his friends came to see him. His mother is also not around because she doesn't have the money to pay for his treatment. She chose to avoid it again. When the hospital calls her about the medical fees, she acts like she can't hear them. The doctor said that he is also deaf in one ear, but the hearing in the other ear is fine. Liramo, where am I? Wasn't I supposed to get married? My head hurts so much. What happened? I seem to have dreamed that you and Knox Shu got married. He was holding his head, looking very pained. I dragged a chair over and sat down in front of him. It's not a dream. I really married Knox Shu. He looked at me in shock. Then he covered his head and shook it desperately, as if many memories were flooding into his mind. Then his eyes suddenly became clear. Look around. Hasn't my company gone public? Why is it just you by my side? Where are the others? As the chairman, I'm sick, and no subordinates or clients come to see me. Where is Yi Ziqing? Yi Ziqing is the daughter of the hospital director. I was stunned. Could it be that he is like me? At this time, Yi Ziqing was still a neurosurgeon. She came in from outside the ward and asked me, are you a family member of the patient? The medical fees for patient Axel Shu haven't been paid, and if they're not paid soon, the hospital will have to kick him out. Axel Shu instinctively grabbed her hand. Chinga, Yi Ziqing instinctively shook him off. Hurry up and pay the fees. His brain is having issues, and if surgery is needed, it can be scheduled as soon as possible. I chuckled softly. I came back just to see how miserable he had become, but I really didn't expect that he would remember his past life. Or rather, Axel Shu, welcome to your rebirth. Axel Shu's pupils dilated when he looked at me. He glanced at the electronic wall calendar and incredulously fell off the bed. I got up and told the nurse who had followed me in, I'm not his family member. I can't help with the payment, but it seems like no one is coming to pay for the grandmother in the next room. I can help with that. The nurse was happy. That's wonderful. You're such a good person, miss. Axel Shu, however, grabbed my leg. Lyra, it's not like that. Let me explain. I love you. I really love you. Please don't leave me. I'm begging you, Lyra. If you don't help me, I will really die. My life will be over. I kicked him away. You can find Noah Feng or Yi Ziqing. Didn't you want to give it to their family? Yi Ziqing colluded with her outside lover to harm me and steal my company. Noah Feng only wanted my money. She wouldn't have followed me if I had no money. So the retribution came so quickly. Truly, heaven has eyes. So, you knew I loved you the most, but you still chose to hurt me. What's wrong? Is loving someone a crime? Do I have to be treated so cruelly? I was wrong. I was wrong. Lyra, I've lost everything. I can't live without you. No one will truly love me. Lyra, I'm sorry. Axel Shu knelt on the ground and desperately bowed his head. One hand, however, was holding onto my ankle, unwilling to let me leave, until someone slammed a chair heavily onto him. He let go of me only after he cried out in pain. Knox Shu pulled me into his arms and bent down to wipe the bloodstains off my skirt with a tissue. Sorry, Liramo, I got your skirt dirty. It's okay, I said with a smile. Knox Shu also smiled and ruffled my hair. Let's go home. I didn't look at Axel Shu's desperate, pained gaze. I just linked arms with Knox Shu and walked out of the hospital room. I heard that Axel Shu was thrown out by the doctor because he couldn't afford the medical bills and was thrown out as a result. It was personally directed by Yi Ziqing. She is the daughter of the dean. How could she tolerate a patient who can't pay medical bills? Isn't that making their hospital run at a loss? Axel Shu had his spine broken by Knox Shu and was nearly paralyzed. He cried out in pain, only able to fight with the dog for food when he was hungry. Axel Shu's mother originally wanted to take her son away, but seeing his condition, he would only become a lifelong burden to her, so she gave up. In the end, she could only turn to Noah Fong. Noah Fong was terrified when he received Axel Shu's mother's call, fearing that she would throw Axel Shu at his doorstep and run away in the middle of the night. The people Axel Shu once loved now avoid him like the plague. On the night Axel Shu almost froze to death on the street, it was Uncle Shu who picked him up. He arranged for him to stay in a private hospital. He couldn't move anything below his neck, and surgery was useless, Uncle Shu said. After all, he is a descendant of the Shu family. Dying outside would be too disgraceful, so let him live out his life in the hospital, a dark and hopeless life with no future. At first, the caregiver would clean his excrement and urine. Later, it was discovered that Axel Shu had no relatives who came to visit him. The caregiver stopped caring for him, and even when he screamed for them to clean the feces on his bed, the caregiver impatiently said, "What are you yelling for? When we clean is our business. You have no say in it. If you shout again, I'll feed your poop to you." Axel Shu desperately tried to hit the bed and screamed hysterically, but the hospital was used to it. No one would pay attention to him at all. When I arrived at the hospital to see him, the caregiver was undressing him and turning him over to clean up his feces and urine. The caregiver's movements were rough, as if she were washing a dog. If he moved slightly and didn't follow the caregiver's intentions, she would slap his buttocks harshly. While hitting him, she complained, "I haven't even given you anything to eat. How come you smell so bad?" Axel Shu's face was red, but he didn't dare to speak. I stood at the door and saw this scene. I didn't go in. I turned around and left, but I knew that Axel Shu's peripheral vision caught sight of me. He just didn't dare to look at me directly. At the entrance of the hospital, Knox Shu was standing by the car waiting for me. I ran into his arms, laughing. He opened his down jacket and wrapped me completely inside. "You're so happy. Looks like he's in a bad situation." I chuckled. Yes, this is the life he chose. It's all karma. In the middle of the night, I often wake up from nightmares. I dreamt that I had a terminal illness and died miserably in a hospital. I dreamt that Knox Shu was framed by Axel Shu. The Shu group went bankrupt, and Knox Shu was forced by creditors to jump off a rooftop. The place where Knox Shu jumped was right in front of where I was standing. Brain matter and blood splattered all over me. I cried and knelt in front of his mutilated corpse. I'm sorry. If there's an afterlife, I will protect you for life. Knox Shu. Will we meet again in the next life? I suddenly woke up, my back already soaked with sweat. Knox Shu, I shouted loudly, was pulled into a strong and warm embrace. Liramo, I'm here. He always spoke calmly, giving me a sense of strong reliance. My face was covered in tears, and I cried as I hugged his neck. Knox Shu, believe me, you will have me for the rest of your life. I will protect you for a lifetime. Knox Shu, however, laughed softly. Okay, I believe you.